Hi, today we'll see the concept of async await. What is async await? It is basically a feature concept of JavaScript where you work with asynchronous code, but you feel like you are in a synchronous environment. You are writing asynchronous code. So, what is the use? Why we want to use it to make it more readable, more maintainable, and it helps in error handling. If you take callbacks where we used to call one function within the other, as you would have seen in the previous one of my tutorial. So it can end up in function calling within. It could have a nested callbacks, and readability is very bad. Then we saw promise with then and catch. Okay, it had a better readability than the callback. Okay, and now we will see how to replace this calling of a promise then and catch with a more readable code. Okay, so here currently we have been calling make t this way. Now let's see. I want a function, a sync function, make t. Okay, sync. So async always goes with await. That you have to remember. That's why it's called async await. Now, instead of calling it this way, where for the, if you recall the T scenario, let's recall the T scenario first in case you have forgotten it, right? So we have always used this analogy from the beginning. The customer drops into a coffee shop or a tea shop. He goes to the front end staff. He orders the tea. The front end staff gives the order to the back end. Meanwhile, the customer waits for his tea. Once the tea is ready, the staff calls the customer, right? Calling the customer, we said it was the callback, right? The same thing we simulated using callbacks and promise. Now we are seeing how to use the same thing with the promise and async await, right? So the same situation, you place the order, you make the tea, the promise is written. This is a long running process where the tea is made. After 5 seconds, the tea would be ready and the staff would call the customer to pick up the tea, right? Now, instead of calling using then and catch, we will say await here. Await for which one? Make tea. Okay. Now, make T takes either it is a promise which can end up in resolve or reject. Currently, I put resolve, which means pick the T, right? So, let's say we have a okay. Okay, let's see how this runs. So, see here the same thing I replaced with like a synchronous fashion, right? It looks like one line after the other. So first is place the order, end of program. So it didn't get called, right? So we need to call this here after the place order. Okay, so first is place order, then end of program, and we don't see the make t yet. Here it should be console.log. Yes, pick the P. Okay. So now in case you want to fail the case, now this is the success case. Based on condition, you may have to fail the case. So let's see what happens. So here I will see console.log and error plus data. Okay. And here in the data I will change it to, instead of pick 30, check 30. Okay, see here. So again, to summarize, uh, Async Await is mainly used for readability, maintainability and error handling. So as you can see here, the code is more maintainable with a single line. So the same code could have also been written like this, right? If the prom is dot then and dot catch. But this looks more cleaner, more readable, and it looks like a synchronous code. Okay, but what happens here? The function stops here till make t gets completed, right? So if you could see the console.log, it is waiting till the result is out. Okay, so to summarize, it's basically used to have good readability, good maintainability and good error handling. Thank you very much.